one up in terms of the maps, which is, I guess, realistically speaking, never considered by us in the conversations we were having going in towards this series. Now, we're about to get underway in towards map number 3 here at Vertigo. Endpoint, they've got to turn it all the way around.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really difficult, in fact, for this Viperio side to get a foot in because, again, it's experience. We always talk about it. We always say, watch out for Endpoint. Viperio, they've done it once, though, so they've proven they can do it. Question is, can they run it up once or twice more and defeat Endpoint in this BO5? Let's find out. It's Vertigo, Viperio on the T side.
And now, Viperio, their T side was their strength in towards Ancient, and that's... not often you do say that. If they can find some of that form in towards Vertigo, it will change things.
Surreal going to be forced away. Some B utility to try and force Endpoint retake back and shove them into a corner a little bit more so. Surreal going to just play for time, having MightyMax in the opening kill. Surreal with the second. Bomb plant to come into at least there's money, but I do fear this is going to be a Endpoint pistol win. GizMy leaps forward, finds himself a first, only the one though to survive. MightyMax is 3. Okay. Endpoint with the pistol.
Hey, made it competitive there. I mean, it looked when it was in the 4 versus 2 like it was going to be cleaned up nice and easily. But for Viperio, bomb plant, 3 kills. They'll take the silver linings. They'll take what they can from it. It means they'll have some buy and investment in towards round number 2. So, not too shabby. They've had back-to-back 16-13s. Running towards Vertigo, we said Viperio is a map which they like a lot. But we know, of course, what Endpoint can do. And, of course, the caliber of their players. And with a great start like that, who knows how things will pan out. First round for them, full buys coming out both ways. It's, like I like to say, it's more about the force buy round than the pistol round. Is what really kind of dictates the tempo.
Don't think Endpoint were expecting Viperio to maybe prove this good. Oh my word, Artist. I like the idea, just walking through the tail end of the molly. Nearly getting caught out completely there, MightyMax. He'll be palmed off with a FAMAS. His teammate wants the M4. Makes total sense that MHL picks it up. MMS going to allow his teammate to entry. Decent trade though. MMS finds a second. Oh, ping another. Where's this come from? An equalising round for Viperio maybe. Because 4 kills for 1 out towards A. Endpoint, they're speechless.
Yes, Surreal, 28 points. I mean, playing for exits here, but even that's a loose term. Just keep hold of the FAMAS because there's going to be so little around it in towards round number 3. Viperio are going to tie things up, and it's like I was saying, it's more important to be picking up the force by rounds than to be picking up the pistol. That's what dictates kind of the slightly longer term conversations around momentum and tempo and all of the rest. For Viperio, that's a great round from them, a great takeover towards ramp as well. Aggressive, works wonders, and allows them to set themselves up into a nice post-plant scenario. All good for them as Surreal. I guess it's nice that it keeps that FAMAS ticking across. But you look on that left-hand side, the money around it, pretty grim. It just has to be either a big force buy into this round to fully reset the economy, or an eco. And they are going to go for the force. It's the right decision with their economy in tatters anyway. They may as well try and opt into a couple of upgraded pistols, but it's going to be a tough round to convert.
Oh, watch out, Surreal. Your teammate's parked up to throw a smoke. MMS in the meantime wants to get himself out towards B. Thomas going to get blinded up a fair bit. That 5-7 has been a menace to the Viperio side. Not going to be in this round. MMS finds the follow-up as well. But I don't think Viperio are going to make the same mistake as Endpoint did in the previous. It's looking pretty alright here. I mean, at least Surreal is going to have some bite back with finding a single frag. But I could just see Endpoint saving these weapons here.
Yeah, I think it's probably the right call. I mean, that FAMAS and a Deagle alone is not too bad for MightyMax. I mean, maybe he could try and be a little bit of a problem, trying to see if he can find something with the 5-7, but having whatever they can bring into what the next round is going to be, another eco, you may as well try and increase what you can bring to the table in terms of somewhat of an investment, somewhat firepower. Viperio, great start, great response well after losing the pistol. 2 on the trot. Really liking the work we're seeing now over towards the T side, and we kind of forewarned this, didn't we? We were saying there's a world in which this is a real issue. Look where we stand now, 2-1. Endpoint, another eco in towards the next round means that Viperio can extend the lead to 2 rounds with a 3-1 scoreline, unless Endpoint pull out some magic.
You're asking for a worldie to happen out of a round that it just shouldn't. So here we go. Some pistols, 5.7s, Deagles, USPs, FAMAS, of course. On Surreal that saved across into number 4, but you're expecting Viperio to make it a third, and you know, having won the force buy, I think the complimentary round afterwards is a given. Although Viperio taking no chances and no risk in allowing a gimmicky round, you know, something like a mid-rush or, you know, a stack of some sort. Who knows? Anyway, Endpoint gamble towards B. Not too sure if they're going to be correct just yet because the bomb's in the middle of the map and it's not really made its way towards the site yet. However, Gizmy making some form of distraction. Artist over the top through jump up, spots out the FAMAS, can't find the kill. Gizmy does take it down eventually though, and I think Viperio will just cut their losses there and run to the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of test the waters, right? Just dip the toes in, realize it was Shark and Fester, they just go double back. They don't need to be too aggressive there. MightyMax swinging off the back of the 5.7. MMS will drop him. Looking for more as MHL swinging with an 8k in hands. And a lot on his shoulders, but no armor. For him to find any success is going to be difficult. Bomb will go down. Viperio in a 4 versus 2 and a smoke in his face. I think this one's done. MHL, just keep that AK ticking across.
Yeah, maybe Nertz will try and dip his toes into the retake. No point keeping a Deagle, in my honest opinion.
I agree.
I mean, the AK is a little more valuable. Yeah, exactly. Like, he's going to have an M4. Maybe... No, it's not even that. He has 98 out of 100 on the half armor. So he's going to have to spend the full 1,000 on getting it up.
Yeah.
So there's literally no benefit keeping the Deagle other than he gets the $700 pistol, which clearly maybe he's expecting to get an exit, but he'll have to hold on to it. It'll be a bomb detonation, and so Viperio maximise profits yet again. I mean, look at the money on some of these players. 7k plus on 4 out of 5. I think MMS was the poorest player in the exit of that round, and he had $5,800. That's it's a pretty staggering lead so far for Viperio. Economy acting as the 6th man already against this Endpoint side.
For now, Endpoint, it's about how they are on to back, right? Where we start now, rifles come through. No AWP being able to be picked up by MHL. Can't combat that of Artist. I mean, what you kind of saw earlier about how much of a problem Artist can be when he gets the ball rolling. You were kind of listing off some of the stats from that first map, the one which they lost, and he was on a tear. So they continue, could be an issue. MMS taking the initial point of damage. Surreal, facing some rocky waters, and he will fall to the hands of MMS.
Nicely done. Giraffe does trade and opens the round back up. Viperio should be on for 4. And that's a brilliant way to do it. MHL and MightyMax with a difficult decision because you kind of don't want to let the lead slip. You can't really risk the weapons. It's an AWP dropped in middle. No reaction from Viperio to try and keep it held hostage. Allow Endpoint to go and pick it up, but ultimately not going to change the outcome of the round. It's going to be 4-1. What a staggering start here for Viperio.
We sort of forewarned it a bit, didn't we? Kind of saying about what they can do on their T side. Their T side was their best work over towards Nuke, and well, it continues to be so in Vertigo. They are looking seriously scary. And Endpoint don't look like their normal selves. They really are starting to kind of dwindle away here, where we can see a historic performance in terms of the fact that maybe Endpoint will be dethroned. Of course, it's still early doors, but Viperio doing all the right things right now to set up that conversation, to set up, you know, the word on the street about what this side can bring to the UK Premiership. Now, 3-round lead. Look over towards Endpoint, and they saved a couple of rifles. Support around it, pretty grim. They're stuck in that cycle that we spoke about for Viperio in the first map, which was kind of full buy-in, failed to convert, eco, rinse and repeat. It's horrible, but it's really tough to break.
See Viperio making a lot of noise early towards A, trying to bait out a rotate, and it's kind of worked. I mean, Thomas is thinking about leaving B. He hasn't, though. He's stuck to his guns. MightyMax, in the meantime, just crouching in. Jump spotting once. MHL has kind of got his gap push. Ultimately, Viperio have actually been bamboozled a little bit because they fake the A control. Max, got to be careful on the jump spot. The AWP on the angle. Artist will penalise. Opening kill goes their way.
It did definitely look up. Not too shabby for Viperio. We kind of already said, what can Artist do with an AWP on the T side? Well, there's the answer. Great shot from him. Numbers go in their favour. And Viperio now technically just have to play the trade game.
MHL up close. Deleted, excuse me, eliminated, I was going to say. Thomas is able to find another. Pink does trade. Thomas trying to get one back in favour of the Endpoint side, but it's Surreal against 3. Bomb plant attempted. MMS to seize that play coming from absolutely every angle. 5-1. Viperio already a third of the way to guaranteeing OT here in our third map. This is a brilliant start from them. T-side Vertigo of all things as well.
It really is. I mean, there is very, very little you can say on a negative note over towards Viperio. It has been a solid T side. You know, granted, the pistol went the way of Endpoint, but it's like I said, it's not about who takes the pistol, it's about who takes the force buy. Viperio take it, and they've run with it. And so far, they've gone a mile. 5 rounds consecutively before Endpoint can even respond. Full buy will come through. A lot of mid-control garnered here by the Viperio side and Endpoint. They're left double-guessing themselves.
Nuts. Oh, Nuts! With 3! Just when you think Viperio get comfortable. Endpoint to derail all sorts of momentum. MMS against 5. And he's taken down through the smoke. Thomas makes it a full house between himself and an Israeli counterpart. Viperio 5, Endpoint 2. Back on the board here, the CT side. But of course, money, we already talked about it, isn't an issue for Viperio. The immediate effect, rebuy, doesn't bother us. And they probably got one more in the back pocket before Endpoint reset them financially. So certainly some big steps in the right direction made.
Yeah, definitely for now at the very least, right? For Endpoint, they needed to answer back. I mean, it was getting to the point where it was already getting quite concerning. The fact that they were starting to struggle on towards the CT side, that's better. A lot more work that's needed to be done. One-way smoke will come through. And for MMS and Co, it's just going to double back over towards mid. Nerds is going to aggro down towards stairs, and he more or less cuts off all those rotations over towards that B site. But if he falls, it gets cracked wide open.
Smoke towards CT. Surreal blinded, no information given up. Artist already positioned to hold the rotate. Having a look towards elevator, back towards CT. Doesn't hit the shot, and actually Surreal will punish him. Nerds in the meantime. How on earth is Nerds in this position? But MightyMax is caught out. MMS is caught out the trade though, so it is a 4v3. MMS needs to find the kill, and he does. All level now in the post plant. A smoke towards CT. Giraffe would have spotted someone on the left, but he wants to move in close towards the right. And someone's fell off the map. Thomas has just slipped completely off. And that might just cost Endpoint this retake. Giraffe sits in the smoke. MHL will no-scope him down. How crazy is this round? And it's only just getting started. It's GizMy in the clutch, but he's already won a few so far. This one seems impossible, but he's able to deny the defuse. And MHL has to run. There's no time. It's all GizMy for Viperio. And it's a 6th on the board for the T side. How crazy is that?
That's a sickening round from Viperio. GizMy again stepping up, and we've kind of said at times he's been a little bit quiet. GizMy, he is a player of a lot of impact and someone who is formidable within the UK scene. And you know, 1 versus 2, he steps up, but you gotta cast your mind back to the one glaring elephant in the room in that round. Thomas fell off the map. If it was a 3 versus 1, it's a done affair, but a 1 versus 2, GizMy can make them work in his favor, and he does. If Thomas doesn't fall, that's a different scenario, a different story. But what a costly error. Raging is probably seething right now.
It happens. Not in Pro CS, but hey, I've been there. You know, I'll resonate with the big man just for a second. It's unfortunate, but you are right. You fear that this round would have gone very, very differently had Thomas have stayed alive. 6-2 now. Viperio have taken an early disadvantage. Artist was removed from the round by the AWP of MHL out on ramp. See now with a fair bit still on the clock to work with. They are going to head in towards B. Giraffe finds the entry. There's a trade. There's a double down from Surreal. Spotting out MMS as well. And he runs him down with the AK. 2v2. MMS lands a one-tap onto Nerds. Molly towards jump up. Smoke towards CT. GizMy's going to punch in the digits. But MMS wants more. MMS wants blood in the round. MMS. Another heroic from Viperio. This time it's Marco. This time it's the Rifler. And this time it's Viperio. The wipe the slate clean of Endpoint.
Endpoint are seriously struggling now. I mean, this is already crumbling. I mean, this series seemed like it was just theirs to lose off the back of winning Nuke. And look where we are now. They are falling considerably behind, where for Viperio, they're looking unfazed by everything. And this is showing how momentum heavy both of these two sides are, but how vulnerable Endpoint really are. I mean, to make the argument, they're no longer a UK team, so they have to draft in a substitution. And I think the instability of having a sub is causing real issues over towards the CT side. No longer a UK core, and they're struggling against that full UK and Irish side of Viperio.
Viperio, 5 rounds up on 9-time champions Endpoint CEX in our 3rd map of the BO5. Artist knows all too well about that angle. Wall bangs through the pillar of 51. And he sets MHL down to 19 points of health. Not to mention, I think he may have spotted MightyMax over the top of the smoke. Still a 5v5 though. MMS deleted by the Deagle of Max. And he's able to pick up the AK and move away.
Yeah, nice shot. Great opener. Back in the rotation over as well for Endpoint. Oh, they got bodies to work over towards A. Granted, MHL's low on HP, and it's just pissed them around. But the AK can rattle off, and it will. MightyMax for 1. Ping to fall. That's important with the bomb recollected.
Having a decent look into the round. GizMy finding one with the AK. Artist Sorp is able to follow up. Thomas does trade. Got to be careful. The close push. Artist now left in the 1v3. He has an AK, but there's just too many bodies surrounding him. Endpoint up to a 3rd. And there is looking... Oh, well, that's looking a little bit better. There's at least a response for Endpoint. But you can't exactly bank on that just yet if you are wanting Endpoint to win. Just because, you know, you're still rounds down. It's the CT side of Vertigo. Who knows? Who knows?
Already. 7 rounds on T-side is not bad. If Viperio can guarantee themselves a lead at the half of an 8th, that'll set themselves up for a lot of success when it comes to their CT side, and, you know, reinstates and reinvigorates that statement we were saying about how formidable Viperio are towards their Vertigo. For now, you've seen that the prevalence of how good an opening kill can be in turning the tide in your favour. Artist have a little peering towards construction, won't find too much, but a nade's not going to be pretty, and a missed shot as well, gets distracted by the HE. And keeps all 5 running alive both sides.
Viperio definitely would be playing things a lot slower. Giraffe goes for the wallbang. Don't know, mate. I'm proper keen now for this BO5. I think we're starting to see Viperio like really shift into gear. Starting to show what they're made of for Endpoint, but we know they're a team that, you know, they can win in every scenario, and this is just another one of them. Surreal with an MP9, he's able to take down Giraffe, 5v4. Endpoint in no position to chill, but certainly doing all the right things to grant them advantages. Great play from MightyMax, a great flash from MHL. Nerds is setting himself up nicely for a double, and Ping, the last man left, 1v4. Does find the first there, Ping with the HE. Does he get any more than that? No. MHL's walk through the smoke will find the final kill. 4 on the board now for Endpoint. 3 behind Viperio.
Yeah, pause coming through as well, called by Viperio, and you can kind of see why. They were very much in control of the situation, control of how this game was panning out, and yeah, not so much anymore. Endpoint, only 3 behind, with the buy pretty rough over towards Viperio. It should just be all-around pistols, trying to see if they can get themselves into a bomb plant, but even then, kind of difficult to make work. Might not see that case coming through here. So, Viperio, realistically, Endpoint should be hot on their tails at 5 rounds, which means they're only within 2, which is very doable for even Endpoint to take an 8th at the half. And what a resurgence that would be from them. We're not going to get too ahead of ourselves just yet. Attack ball's done and dusted. Conversations have been had. For Endpoint, it's just about continuing on this road, which is so far looking so successful.
No, it's 1-2 with the MP7. Can't find any more than it. GizMy will get the trade eventually with the Glock. The nade, decent damage. A second one, ping. Deducted down to 13 points of health. Thomas continues to swing in. Decent damage done. GizMy does find one with a MAC-10, trying to make it hard for the P250 to connect the shots. But he does eventually find it, Mr. MHL. 2 kills is respectful here for the Viperio Eco. Ultimately, Endpoint a 5th, and they are back in business.
That's true. They are. 2 rounds behind. Of course, expected just off the back of the buy that Viperio had. Now it's about what they can muster up. And Artist only able to pick up until a MAC-10. Not exactly. Pretty. Same with MMS and a Galil. So it's a full buy, but there's, you know, a heavy asterisk above it. As a MAC-10 and Galil comes in for support alongside those 3 AKs. Information being gathered off them. And once again, Endpoint taking a lot of that early stairs control towards B.
Viperio back with rifles and certainly back for blood. Max wants to make sure that right-hand corner is clear. So many times do you just don't know what's coming because there's someone tucked in that angle. MHL will find the opening kill with the AWP. Artist has actually crept his way right through middle here. CT clear, elevator clear. Guys, just hold on. I'm in CT, I've got the flank on A, let's get ready to go. I'll pull the pin with a MAC-10. I guarantee a couple of kills here. Nertz doesn't get the timing. And there you go, Artist finds the first, and he knows that smoke probably came in. MightyMax is on gap. Artist, don't block the AWPer, but more integrally, you kind of want to line them up. He's still waiting for his chance. Now he'll pull the trigger, jumps up. There's a man towards short. Guys, get ready. Thomas is going to rotate around as well, but Viperio want to make the site first before the CTs get there. It's so messy from Giraffe. MMS left in a 1v3. It was sick trigger discipline from Artist, but the fact that it means nothing might just hurt unless MMS can line up a worldie, and unfortunately it's not meant to be. It's 6 on the board for Endpoint. They're back in town.
Yeah, they've seriously turned it around. Viperio, it looked off the back of that flank coming through from Artist that it could be enough. They were kind of just waiting for him to pull the pin on that execute towards A and potentially could be the linchpin to success, but it wasn't the case. Finds himself one, instantly traded, and the fact that he's traded is kind of the damning blow in a way. If he picks up that AWP from MHL and just stays alive for a little bit, different story, but they're all hypotheticals. Once again, Viperio, money back to null. Nothing for them to bring to the table, and a healthy nade for MightyMax could be huge, but Ping would have started, but the util's even better.
Sick util set and another nade kill. This time it's Thomas. Nertz will get his hands dirty with his M4. Deagle of GizMy, nice first shot, trying to collect any more. And there we have it. It's Nertz to find the last. Defuse the ramp push quite nicely. Heading into round 15, it's all tied up at 7-all.
Who goes in with a lead in towards the second half? Who takes the ever so slight advantage? We saw Viperio do it in towards Ancient, and it was enough for them to net a win. Question of, though, can they do it once further? 15th final round. Looking for that 8th round, just as a little bit of a comfort zone in towards that second half. And if Viperio find it, it might change the tide of the momentum currently. It's all in favour of Endpoint.
Tag up, MightyMax takes a little bit of damage as he tries to slip into 51, but it's surreal to find the first frag in the feed. MHL will find the follow-up. Viperio, what was a valiant start. Trying to push by the wayside a little bit here, although GizMy trying to get them back into the round, finding Max up close. MHL caught by the molly. All of a sudden, there's light at the end of the tunnel here for Viperio. Just needs someone to step up. GizMy on short, certainly needed to be the man. But the father figure of Artist is here to stay because he's found himself a double. Down to the 2v2, Thomas and Surreal. What better duo to have in the clutch, though? As Viperio slam on the brakes and they wait for the next move here. What do Endpoint want to do?
2 versus 2. Both players on each side full of HP. Utility slightly limited over towards Endpoint. Double smoke, flash and nade. No molly to deny that presence over towards ramp, but a smoke will come through, forcing Surreal out. And a flash as well will catch the both of them. Bomb should go down, but can Thomas to do anything to deny? Allow it to go down. The AWP was posted up, waiting for it. And he'll find one. He makes that 2. At the half, ladies and gentlemen, it's Endpoint. 8-2-7, a slim lead, but a lead nonetheless. After that map, that half was crumbling from within their grasp. They've claimed it back. The question is, can they continue in the second? We'll see you after the break.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record, for the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. A6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and age. I'm flipping the bars, I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence. Adolescent presence, also coming to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete ejected, but the moves elusive and I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winnings when I know you're losing, so I work the winnings and they throw the deuces. Guess I have to pivot, shooting their bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper cash, buck attacks. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, fuck out the bag. Brody plot, we'll get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa, 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 whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, yeah. For the record.
You pulling me closer, but don't waste your time. Don't have any time for all your empty lies. I used to think that you were only mine, but I was blinded by a shallow light. I'll call your friends, I'll let them know that I'm so done with the tragic boys. Tonight I'll get into my zone. I'll dance until the tears are gone. No time for bad love.
A bump off for Endpoint, but leading by a single round as they transition to the T side, leaves us wondering if Viperio have what's in the locker to take it 2-1, to be in the lead against our 7 consecutive time champions of Endpoint CEX. Let's see if they've got it in their locker here, a second pistol to basically either put Endpoint back on the board and establish themselves a solid lead, or for Viperio to cause some trouble and some dismay in the beginning of our second half.
That's it. We've already seen how integral those pistol rounds can be just to kickstart a little bit of confidence. Question is, can Endpoint continue to solidify their lead? Giraffe, Jiggle Beacon, he spotted a lot of action towards ramp. He gonna take the fight as well.
Nuts, opening kill, GizMy, does he get checked though in this angle? No one's having a look this way right now, and all he's doing back and forth between the angles, got to make sure from left, from right, no one's going to be pushing. Bomb plant, it's tapped, not stuck. GizMy, this time around, will swing, misses the first shot, does connect, the bomb plant goes down, it's good damage, he has to get the reload off, and MightyMax will gun him down. Ping's able to take down MHL, but MightyMax has found a second, and a third MightyMax. The USP's gone nuclear, MMS against 2. 18 points of health. Sure, he's got Kevlar to his name, but this feels impossible. Surreal peeks in. First missed shot. Should have connected. Had it have done so, you maybe believe a little more in the dream. Unfortunately, it's a nightmare. 7-9. Endpoint. They continue their lead. It's up by 2.
I hate to kind of, single him out in this situation, but GizMy's fluffed his lines a little bit there, right? If he finds that first kill cleanly without having kind of to do like a bit of a double take, then he can deny the bomb going down. If the bomb gets denied going down, it buys time for the rotation from the B players over towards the A side with the numbers in favor of Viperio. It's a completely different scenario, and you kind of got a feel for him as well there, because he hasn't really kind of done anything too wrong. He's just not quite confirmed the kill. Small mistakes, rookie errors as we've spoken about. Well, look where we are now. 9-7, a 2-round lead in favor Endpoint CEX on the road to taking another one of Viperio's map picks and going in towards their own Mirage with the series on the line. What's still at the halfway mark. 9-7 for Viperio. Questions about their buys off the back of the attack pools. What do they want to do? I think the smart decision will be not to buy. That is what we are seeing. Minimal across the board. Arthur's going to pick himself up towards a CZ. But aside from that, it's just the USPS's rocking in towards round number 17. And I'd assume probably a gamble stack.
Yes, I mean, you'd expect so at least. Viperio showing some overwhelming pressure in middle. Waiting to see what the move is for Endpoint. By the looks of things, ramp is the poison that they have picked here in round 17. Flashbang towards gap. This should be Endpoint up to double digits. Viperio, I feel like in serious threat now, Nao. I fear for the worst here, mate, because it was a really good start. A pistol win would have put them a long way. I guess the buy round in the next is the one that we'll keep a keen eye on. If they lose it, I mean, even then, they're not going to have great utility. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn right now.
I'm with you, brother. I mean, it was looking like a completely different story in towards the start of this map. It was all looking all Viperio, and look where we are now. It's just easy farming, a flawless round, in fact. 2 for Nerds, 2 for Surreal, 1 for Thomas. Cleans that one up with relative ease. At 10-7, a 3-round gap for Endpoint is starting to get all the more damning. And I gotta say, for Viperio, it looked fantastic. Everything seemed to be panning out as this map started, and how it's crumbled away. They're in a real rut right now, and they need to break it. And that's where you look towards the more experienced players, like your Artists, your Giraffes, and maybe even Biscuit at the helm.
Need change, mate. This is the round to happen. This is the round to do it in. Smoke towards ramp. GizMy's going to duck underneath the fumes, and that'll keep him alive. Not only that, he wants to get a little closer. He wants to get a little more personal with this Endpoint side. There's a gap in the right-hand side, and GizMy does very well in executing the AWPer. Taps away. Surreal, 26 points of health.
Already. Not too bad. Not too shabby right now for Viperio. We said we needed a good response. Well, there's a start. Not job done just yet, but they got the numbers to work with. They want to once again test the waters towards A. For Endpoint, this could come back to bite them.
Nicely done. MightyMax finding MMS 4v4, so bringing the numbers back level. Artist slides down the vent, or down the ladder, not the vent, excuse me. No vents in this map. Nerds has found Artist. That's the flank caught off, and Viperio starting to look a little worse for wear here on this CT side.
GizMy. Oh, that was lightning fast.
Deleted. Now, all eyes on Ping, who actually does find a double. That's not terrible. 2v2 here. I've completely overlooked the the scenario of the round, the numbers equal between Endpoint and Viperio. Flashbang to go high. Giraffe wants to go through, tries to attempt a wild transfer. I like the attempt. It's Ping, though, the big man to step up. Spotted out Max's arm, but can't hit the fatal shot. 3 in the round for Max, 3 in the round for Ping. But it's Endpoint that walk away with 11. And a 2-1 scoreline. I mean, it was bound to happen. But in favour of Endpoint, it's looking more and more likely by the round.
It did get a little bit close, you know, uncomfortable at one point, but experience sees them through. Now, 11-7. And of course, unfortunately, Viperio, it's a position where for them, they can't really justify any true investment towards this round. It's going to be insurmountable in terms of the fire bubble. What a shot from Giraffe to open things up. Nerds, good night.
If we have a few more of those, there's chances to get back into this game here. Viperio, VIPGizmy. Oh my word. Play patience. Giraffe's found another kill. Gizmy finds it, switches out to the AK, but doesn't expect MHL to continue playing the one-way. But it's a 2v3 right now for Endpoint. They're at a man's disadvantage. A numbers game that favours Viperio.
Somehow, some way, Viperio, they've made this work. I mean, now that they collected rifles as well, it's an even matchup here. 2C side, players are very spaced out. MHL still just trying to draw some attention towards him over towards A. MightyMax could be giving B for free. Bomb will go down momentarily. What information does MHL relay? There's no one there, but he hears the sound cues now.
If Viperio just full send this retake, it's against 1.
Oh, for sure. Oh, a retro color scheme. I like it.
Yeah, it's mine, mate. Hold on a flank, MHL. There's your first. There's your second, MHL. All 3 for MHL. 12 on the board for Viperio. Sick stuff. That flank pays dividends. It was a gamble, a roll of the dice. But Endpoint strike gold.
It was very dependent on that MHL flank. I mean, all kind of came down to the wire for him. If he finds success, if he can line them up, they win the round, and he does. Timing was of the gods in his favour. And for Viperio, another crushing round in which it was so close to being in their favour. As you mentioned, right, they just full send it towards the site, they win it. To be 12-7, a 5-round lead. This is getting really uncomfortable, but from the high heavens, Giraffe will find the opener.
Nice shot from Artist, though. That brings the numbers further in favour. MightyMax, tagged up a little bit more. Do you expect Giraffe to be playing so up close? I mean, you will now. He's fired off a shot, and a re-smoke certainly does give that away. In the meantime, Artist has found another surreal remove. MightyMax trying to creep through the smoke. You have to go for heroics there if you're Endpoint. Not working out. Thomas, a 1v5 to try and deny Viperio, taking the deficit down to 4. But an 8-12 scoreline, I think, is impeding. Is there a chance for Viperio? Certainly would be the time.
Thomas, looking. But, you know, in a 1 versus 5, I think probably keeping that AK in play is the right call. I think even trying to make it expensive on the other side, not worth it. Yes, the long-term economy is pretty dire. But he himself, they don't have kind of bags of money to work with over towards Endpoint. And by him staying alive, he's not going to be gaining any cash going into his next. So keep that AK ticking. The U2 as well was a nicety. They're just going to play with 1 AK and whatever they can support around it. I think for Nerd Surreal, MightyMax, their buy is going to be fine. It's MHL who's really going to struggle. And he might even kind of get to a point where for him, it's maybe being dropped an SMG or just wielding a pistol to work with. Not perfect, but better than nothing. Great response on Viperio though. Up to 8 for them. 4-round gap. It's doable.
$12-8. Pause to come in. Wondering, is it going to be tactical from Endpoint to kind of establish what went wrong in that round, or Viperio, although it is Endpoint's timeout, probably using this to figure out, well, what went right? What was the difference that we made in that round compared to the last that put our names on the board here on the CT side? How far, how deep can they run with it? 12-8. All in favour of Endpoint right now, this Vertigo matchup. But certainly on a knife's edge, should they lose out here, Endpoint, because money is low for both teams as well. That's the case. So heading into round 21, it's pivotal that, well, both teams win it. Only one can. Let's see who takes it.
Let's see who takes it, indeed. We said for MHL it's going to be uncomfortable in this round, and, well, it is. Full armor. It's great. Only a Tech 9. No util even for him. None for Nerds. Barely any for Surreal. I mean, that might be the real issue for Endpoint in this round. Not even the lacking firepower into their primary AWPer, but the lack of utility. Executing the difficult post-plants, even harder. The long-term game into this one, not exactly a dream. But still, having a look in towards a ramp. Just trying to draw some attention. Bait out some Viperio utility of their own.
Waiting now what the next move is here for Endpoint. A Tech 9 on MHL. In an ideal world, you want that upgraded as soon as you can. So a first kill must go their way. Peek towards B. Giraffe. There's your first bomb carrier as well. So a lot of information. Smoke on his feet just to give him some time because he knew that molly was burning at his feet. And arriving on in is the cavalry. Pings here to support, but Giraffe makes it a second. Endpoint down to 3. 35 seconds on the clock here. That's going to make one in response, but it is still a 4v3. It's still a numbers game that favours the CT side, but Surreal out towards Sandbag. But MMS, he slips the net on short, and some steps being made on ramp, beckoning a rotate from GizMy. MightyMax walks into the jaws of MMS, who actually turns out second best in that engagement. And then just me is all eyes on GizMy, who sits behind the smoke. It's a pretty good one to try and deny the plant, but Surreal knows it all too well. Nert spams through, and it's good damage. A leg shot found. Can he find a second artist to deny the bomb? That's enough. That's all it for number 9 on the board for Viperio. There's chances here for the CT side.
Oh, brilliant. Again. There is chances, as you said. I mean, reaching distance is the way to put it. I thought potentially with MMS falling, it might have made it really problematic looking over towards Endpoint, but hey-ho, not to be. I think Endpoint need to be extremely careful. Viperio are starting to muster up quite the fight of their own. And it might change how things pan out in the latter stages here. Now, at 9 to 12, the buy for the seat side, more than comfortable. No complaints, around win. They all got all the money to work with. And an open hands of Artist is a massive addition. And while he's been a little bit quiet towards Vertigo, if he gets that ball rolling, then the real problems start to arise. For Endpoint, double AK and a healthy nade on towards Max and MHL. Not a dream start.
Not ideal at all. Then again, you know, they're on ecos, so you're not expecting the world out of them. They did actually try and get inventive with the boost. Giraffe forcing them away just with the presence of the AK. Ultimately, there you go. I was going to say it should be Viperio picking up a round, and Giraffe swinging in and finding 2 kills, one of which the rifle. Certainly not exactly going to improve the odds of Endpoint making it 13 here. Viperio keen for double digits as it single hand moves from Giraffe that pushes them further to the goal of catching up here with the UK's finest.
2 versus 5. I mean, that low buy, they only had 2 rifles saved into this round, so making anything work is, I mean, that's asking for something special. Surreal's got an inkling. He's got an idea that there might be one potentially tucked in towards Sandbag. It's usually GizMy, as GizMy's going to take first contact on the swing, head on a swivel, doesn't make a difference. Thomas will trade. There's still 4 more bodies to fire than ace clutch needed. And he's shut down. An Artist, not like Picasso, a con Artist, he steals away the round from Endpoint, and it means it's within 2, within reaching distance of tying this game up. Potentially throwing jeopardy over towards the Endpoint side, who looked like they're on the road to success here.
Certainly looks to be that way, Viperio. Running it close in the first 2 maps, and the ever-looming shadow feels like it's going to be another close affair here on Vertigo. Nade, Molly combo going to take the first away from the Endpoint side. Surreal caught out by the HE. Nert's 20 points of health as well, not to mention a smoke to his right, preempting that a Molly would come in. Now he's just got to sit within it and hope that he doesn't get spammed down by any of these pistols. Up close, Nerds tries to get on in and catch the rifler by surprise, but already pinged with a flank, and MMS starting to collect kills as well for the Viperio side. It's an easy dismissal of the Tech 9s. It's 11-12.
It's getting worrying. This is really getting worrying, I gotta say. 11-12. I mean, Endpoint, like I was saying earlier, they would look like on the road to success in this map, and kind of mentally for me, it sort of felt like it was already done, and now a different scenario coming forward. Yes, a full buy will come through for Endpoint in towards 24, but if they lose this here, if they fall flat, Viperio not only tied the game up, but more or less guaranteed themselves in towards picking up a 13-12 scoreline. Endpoint's economy will be broken, and it changes the tempo, the momentum of this game, and GizMy opening things up in towards mid could really be the justificating factor.
Nice shot, Giraffe. 5v4. Yeah, again, Viperio with these entries. They themselves will know you can't get too excited from the word go. Certainly looming over them now, this Endpoint side, that they are starting to drop into these 4v5s a hell of a lot more than they'd like. It's not Artist Orp that usually paints the picture for an advantage. This time, he'll double down upon it though. Nice shot. Tries to find another, but MHL reverse engineering the top, hauling on gap. MMS, good damage done to Thomas. 25 points of health to his name. All three players committing towards A, and MMS. What a sturdy pillar, such a structure for this Viperio side, looking for more.
Looking for it, elevated angle, back turn, MMS. He's hoping Pink can bail him out here as 44 him, double orbs, won't swing into him just yet. Thomas abiding by Bogdan's law by picking up one of his own, but MHL will be tagged. All down to this flank, and time is of the essence. MMS will step up for one, make that two, leaving it down to the Polish superstar of MHL, but he can only deliver one consolation kill to see things off on his second in the round. Viperio will tie things up, and as we mentioned, look at Endpoint's money. They could force buy, but it will be super janky.
It's difficult. It is real difficult now. Endpoint with their thinking caps on for what could be the final time here on Vertigo. Low money here, has to be an eco. Means your full buys in the next at 13-12. Should you lose it, 14. Game's cooked. It's not looking too keen here. But for this Endpoint side, a long drawn out game. You had your chances. I mean, talk about the momentum they started with here on the T side. The fact that they don't finish the game with it as well, and Viperio are able to pull off some upsets and, you know, get some rounds through the cracks of this Endpoint attack. Scary. Viperio's map pick, for context, the best of 5, our third of what could be a full 5, at least shaping up to be. Endpoint's pick next. Mirage, Vertigo, Vertigo now, Mirage next. Inferno, our decider. MHL wants to put a stop to it, wants to think about maybe just ending it in 4. Thomas is already in towards CT. Artist should be careful for it, but Endpoint, some resulting A control. GizMy's got to hold things down, does a good job in finding the first and a second headshot from GizMy. From the man down to the man up, Viperio keep it cool.
MHL will push it front, gives me no idea. Didn't expect him that close and personal. Bomb collected. And of course, weapons to work with too. Well, the numbers favour Viperio. Endpoint have got a world in which they can turn this in its favour. Util damage is fantastic, but Nurtle forward leaves all down to MHL once further. Looking for more, but he can't quite deliver. He needs an ace clutch, and while it was low HP, it's 100 skill. Viperio up to their 13th, but a lot of positives to be taken. Endpoint made it expensive, they've got a bomb plan, they're going to have plenty of cash to work with in towards the next.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Endpoint, the luxury there is you've done integral damage to that Viperio economy, and on top of that as well, the bomb plant, extra $800 per player. You're in a position where Viperio are close to being compromised. It's another pause coming in. It's another chat for the coaches and for the players to have a discussion. For Viperio, it's just about keeping cool, level heads, heading into the most important round of Vertigo so far. For Endpoint, it's a different story. It's, we need to get into this round. A common theme here is we're being put in a 4v5s a hell of a lot more than we should be. we need to set the tone. We need to take fights on our own terms, and even if we do lose the early man, there needs to be trades, because that's where Endpoint have been suffering.
You're spot on. Absolutely spot on. Endpoint, off the back of that pause, an investment coming through. I mean, realistically speaking, if things continue on this trend that we're seeing right now, I mean, Endpoint have got, what, 2 max full buys left in them? Well, Viperio, they're really close to seeing this off in a positive manner. Very comfortable both ways. An 8k in the hands of Giraffe as well is a real positive factor. We know we can do with it. Viperio, just keep a level head and they should be fine.
The whole BO5 feels in jeopardy right now for Endpoint, who, you know, for context, as you said, in the BO5 Grand Final format, have yet to been taken to 5. Yet to lose a BO5, but yet to even see 5 maps in the Grand Finals. Feels like if there's ever a chance that it'd happen, it'd be here. Viperio, a single round up. Clean slate, level pegging when it comes to the map score lines. But this would be a massive push in the right direction for Viperio. Don't have to convert Mirage. You can lean back on Inferno a little bit more. Context is a massive thing. It's a hell of a marathon. Viperio keeping up to the pace of Endpoint at a bare minimum right now.
That's it. A much slower tempo being set here by Endpoint in terms of they're just trying to, I mean, scope out what the call is by Viperio in their setup. Troll's gonna aggro into a stairs, but it's a ramp aggression coming through. Max open things up. Quick trade. Looking to make it 2, but MMS can't quite deliver.
Gotta hide, gotta get away, GizMy, but he can't. Now it's on the AWP of Artist. Fluffs his lines on the first shot. Needs to connect, switches to the knife before he pulls the trigger, but he has himself a kill. Nerds towards CT, able to catch the rotate. Artist is still going off with the AWP. He's got 3 in the round. Needs 4, but he's not far off. Surreal half health, so that's CZ. 1 dink, the potential is there. The bomb tapped towards A, expecting a peek from headshot. Artist playing the elevator. This time, it's a stick for Surreal. It's a chance for Artist, and it doesn't matter that he gets the bomb down, because Artist's got 14 for Viperio. That is cynical with the AWP.
That's criminal. What a play from Artist again. The IGL stepping up. I mean, yes, Endpoint get a bomb plant, but Artist has done God's work there. 14 to 12. And Endpoint are starting to dwindle now. This is getting really uncomfortable for them. Tac balls will come through.
Another
You'd
one.
assume called by Endpoint as well, because they are starting to seriously feel the pressure. 2 rounds behind, but Viperio only 2 rounds away from taking Vertigo, going 2-1 up in terms of maps, and going on towards Mirage with the series on the line. This is nuts right now. And the IGL of Artist, I mean, you just got to give him credit. The way in which he's called this CT side has been fantastic.
Yeah.
And, of course, he individually steps up in the clutch, too. It's all great from him.
I will give one thing. Surreal got the bomb plant, and obviously that means more money, means more chances. Utility's a little more fluid for this Endpoint side. So there are benefits. Even though they lost the round, you've got to look in the light here for Endpoint, because the moment you start looking at the negatives, it gets in your head. It starts working against you. Viperio, You've got to spit straight facts here and say they're 2 rounds away from taking a second map off Endpoint. At minimum, it would be the first time in history that this happens. It's real chances for Viperio. Let's see if they've got it in their locker. 14-12, ride or die for Endpoint.
Well, Yuto being set up by Viperio, they don't really want to take too much control in terms of the map. They're more than happy to wait to come through. Pop Flash will come over towards stairs. GizMy peering just below the smoke. Won't spot out too much.
It's just a one-way. Work underneath it. You can see the feet of the people on ramp, and obviously just move your crosshair up a bit from them. You're hitting headshots, you're hitting body shots. And as you can see, you can also look over the top of this smoke, and MMS peeks down to see if anyone wants to check out the elevator angle. Artist sleeps on the angle. Giraffe being dropped early doors. Nerds had found the opening kill. MightyMax a second. This is more like it for Endpoint. This is more like it. MMS has actually baited the sandbag play. Fair play. Gets jump spotted. Tries to check out the angle and the molly to try and displace the counter-terrorist. But Marco's already found his way deep into the roots of sight. And that's where he wants to be holding. 35 seconds. Endpoint yet again leaving it late. But the bomb is maneuvering. It's weaving its way back towards B. But look at MMS, unrelenting aggression. They're going to know soon. Nerds, he's going to be saying, guys, I've just heard 2 players rotate. If you want to bring the bomb back, no worries at all. Ping's second-guessing himself. The CTs have actually come back in towards A, but it's been a ruse this entire time. The AWP, sure, it's found the first, but there's 4 more to go, and they've barrened up the B site.
It's all a case of who can flank the other one better. I mean, Nerds, we saw MHL do it earlier, and he's trying to replicate as best he could. He gets picked off. Numbers favourable towards Endpoint, the bomb plant, and already a quarter of the way ticked. You can see the slow posturing around. That means Viperio, they're saving. They're not even testing it. Yes, they've got money to work with, but they know that there's no way back in towards that site. Play for exits. They might be giving them here. Artist peering round the corner. MHL will fall to the hands of MHS, and they're making it expensive.
I like this play. Viperio, it's just about maximizing damage because you know the loss bonus isn't going to be there. Max goes down to the bomb. It's all 4 kills, and Viperio survive with diamonds. 14-13. Look at the money for the CT side. Endpoint are strapped down. There's already a Galil invested. They know money is an issue for that T side. MHL can't afford the luxury of an AWP. Hell, he can't even get an AK right now. He does indeed go for it, but it's without head armor, and that means M4s are just so much more critical here on this T side. 14-13, another pause, another 30 seconds to talk things through, because if last round wasn't important, this one certainly is. It's all chips to the middle of the felt. It's a race for 16, and both teams neck and neck right now. Viperio, sure, it's a slight advantage, but it could all be unwound in a round loss here.
That's it. 13-14. I think for Endpoint as well, they know that, yes, they just won the round, but they're not happy with it at all. The pressure is just brutal.
Yeah.
Galil for Max as well. I mean, rifles alongside it, they're fine, but this is a really uncomfortable space. I mean, this is on a knife's edge. It can go any way, and MHL will open things up. Gizmy to fall. Great start for Endpoint. Can they continue? And look at the aggression from MMS.
Using it as a one-way smoke. As he dips his head into it, the fumes of the smoke kind of move around a little bit, so this is how he can see into the bottom right corner, trying to just find his way through. Waits for it to fade, but look at this from MMS. He's got the entirety of ramp to himself. MHL thinks he's got the hold completely down. Max is going to move back in. If he peeks any further forward, even if it is to the left, surprise goes MMS, finds the kill. That means Endpoint, realistically, you have to commit towards B because the entirety of A is held down by a single counter-terrorist. And so indeed, they are positioned ready for an execute. There's mollies, there's smokes, there's everything. But there's more drama to this round because the bomb's dropped by Giraffe. And as they start to try and enter the site, there's still so much util for Viperio. There's 50 seconds left. Endpoint know they have to commit, but it's into the jaws of a Viperio stack. As Ping finds a wall bang, it's all on Surreal. It's Ping, Artist, MMS, a tight-knit 1v3, trades galore, map point Viperio.
That's unbelievable again. I mean, what a call. And it's all down to one man, MMS. He's won that round for them. Yes, he only walks away with 1 kill, but gets a kill, drops a smoke. And as you mentioned so rightfully, it forces them to go towards B. They know that the utility and the manpower they have to burn to try and retake bottom ramp control is just not worth it. So they have to commit over towards that B site, and they get destroyed. Really well played. MMS, he's been crucial to so much success. It's all off the back of that ramp aggression. And there was question marks above his head when he joined this Viperio roster. And he is paying it off time and time again. This is brilliant stuff. 15-13. Endpoint could be about to go 2-1 down in terms of maps. That's not something I ever expected, I'd say.
Do you ever expect Endpoint to be losing 2 maps in a BO5, especially in the ESL Prem? A reward that Endpoint have claimed every single season for the past 7 seasons in dominant, in definitive fashion. ITB, who was considered the second best team in this tournament, only got a map off them in a BO3. Only got a map off of them last time in a BO5. It was on Mirage, it was 16-4. The rest, it was a blowout for Endpoint. Viperio, on the other hand, a team built off of solid blocks, teamwork, courage, passion. And you can start to feel the tension already here for Endpoint. It's the last round of Vertigo, and they'll have to run it up twice. Artist missed shot with the AWP, but dips back into the smoke, going for ridiculous no-scopes, trying to commit to whatever he can. But he doesn't back off Instead, it's a reposition. He gets to the left-hand side of that smoke, and he's now trying to work again for this mid-control.
No, it's just going to, well, show presence over towards stairs or fall off the back of it. This is a prime opportunity. Viperio, it has to be closed here and now. Look towards their money as well. If they fall here, they have no money in towards the next, which more or less guarantees us in towards overtime. Double stack, Gizmy going back towards the same position he played in the pistol. Sandbags, and if you can make this one work a little bit better, the round's done. Swinging forward, MMS good for one. Only though, where they're swinging, and Gizmy makes it a double.
One more! It's Thomas on ramp. Teammate nowhere to be seen. Only just now will MHL start to join him from gap as he pressures into the side. There's 20 seconds on the clock. There's too many bodies. There's too little time. There is no chance for Endpoint to get back into this round. MHL will fight his ground, but it's all valiant efforts because Viperio, for the first time in ESL Premiership, will guarantee Endpoint have to play all 5. Another close affair. Another 16-13. Another 29 rounds separated merely by a matter of kills. Viperio, 2-1 up, 1 map away from taking the ESL Prem off of Endpoint for the first time in 8 seasons. Can they get it done out on Mirage? We'll find out after this. Don't go anywhere.